What are you guys doing?
We're putting in this tiny, tiny pond. I ordered it from Home Depot. It was supposed to be this big pond. I get it here. I was thinking, hey, a 50-gallon pond, that should be pretty good size. No. So we were going to have it way out here, but now we're going to have it just in the flower bed with the waterfall back there and a creek running through the Quickies and into the pond. So
I think it'd still be cute.
for our backyard, it's the perfect size. You know, our backyard's not huge, so I think it'll work good.
Yep.
And Joshua has enrolled himself on Father's Day to help me, so I appreciate it. Right, Josh?
Yeah.
Let's see how big that hole is already.
It's pretty good size.
Oh yeah.
Let's try it now, Josh.
Okay, one second. I'm gonna get the loose dirt out of the bottom.
Okay. See if it'll fit down in there.
Yeah.
It's almost there. Almost there. Height-wise is good. I think I just need to trim this side out a little bit. I might leave it at an angle like that.
Yeah.
And plant some water plants or something, or some ferns or something like over here. You know?
Another tree.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Hi, Dutch. What are you doing, sweeties? Do you think this is a pool? Is this a pool? Yeah? Well, you better not get in it when there's fish in here. Okay. Let me see that. I'll just chisel this out a little bit more. Hey everybody, Jay, Christa, say I do favor coming at you. I'm outside, she's inside. She's sewing like a crazy woman because she's busy and she has a lot of brides to take care of. What I'm going to do today, and I'll show you in a minute, is work on a project that people have been talking about and asking about. So we'll be right with you. Okay, so I'm back and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be working on. Everybody had been asking about water features and ponds, creeks, waterfalls, so I'm thinking I'm going to do all three. I'm going to get overzealous right now, and I'm going to turn this around and show you. So this is where I have the dirt mounted up for the waterfall. I'm going to do it different than everyone else. Instead of doing a bunch of river rock with a pond liner, I'm going to do reinforced cinder blocks on the back side to add strength to the waterfall. I'm also going to do flagstone on the top, cascading down into a creek, and the creek is going to run through our Quickies right here, and it's going to meander all the way through and go all the way around in between it. And let's see if I can get over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And it's going to come like this around, and then it's going to drop into that pond that I got from Home Depot. I thought that pond was going to be a lot bigger, and man, was I mistaken. But our yard is small, and that's okay. I'm still gonna go ahead and do that. So basically, let me bring you back this way. So basically, from that dirt band, it's gonna meander through these trees. It's gonna cut switchbacks basically and around here, and it's going to drop into that pond. So I'm excited, and I'm going to get started right now. See you in a little bit. Okay everybody, I am going to start on the waterfall. I am going to use those cinder blocks and that rebar to reinforce the back part of the waterfall. So wish me luck, here we go. Everybody, I just got done with the back side of the waterfall portion. I did the cinder blocks and then I filled it with rebar and concrete to give it good strength on the back side. Then I'm going to take this dirt and extra dirt I have and push it up against it, and then I'll start concreting that, and I'll get some flagstone on there and start the waterfall process. So one step at a time, and there you have it. So that's the beginning. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what I had to do is I had to dig this section out in front of the top flagstone, and then I'm going to put brick and rebar in that front part right here to give it support for the other big piece of flagstone that I'm going to put as the waterfall part. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten on the waterfall. So I've got the base back, so it's going to be like Fort Knox behind there, so it won't have a cave in. I put this as the front ledge where I'm going to put the giant flagstone over here on top of here that's going to cascade down or splash into the bowl right here. Then after that, it's going to go rise up out of the bowl, flow this way, go around this tree, around that tree, around that tree, and drop into the pond. So it's a work in progress. This is the first time I'm doing this, so it's anybody's guess if this is going to turn out. I'm hoping it does. We'll find out. That's all I got so far. And there's a giant bumblebee. And also, one of the ladies that subscribed to our channel asked, how do you guys do the yard work without getting sweaty and gross? And so I've achieved sweaty and gross today. So I have been having a blast doing this. I've always wanted to do this since our first house, and now we're here, and this is our forever home, so this is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and then here in a little bit I'm gonna show you guys how I saved a lot of money on the water distribution tube that's gonna pour over the flagstone down into the little basin bowl right here to flow down the creek and into the pond. And I'll show you that here in just a few. Okay guys, so I looked online for Home Depot and Lowe's, and there's another guy called the Pond Guy or the Pond whatever. They have a distribution tube, and they range anywhere from 150 bucks to 200 bucks. I'm not spending that kind of money just to distribute water over flagstone into a creek and, you know, for the pond and the waterfall. So I came up with the idea, necessity is the mother of invention. So I bought PVC, all this stuff from Home Depot, and I think I spent like, let me look it up here. I spent like 15 bucks. 15 bucks instead of 200 bucks. So what would you do? So this is how I came up with this idea. So I'm going to take the PVC for the water distribution that's going to cascade over the flagstone. I got a solid cap here. I'm going to put a cap here. I've got this piece that's going to go on here. I've got this piece that's this other tubing, the water pump tubing that's going to pump it from the water or the pond all the way up to the waterfall. And then I've got this piece that's a T, and so I'm going to put this with this, and I'm going to put this on here, so it's going to look just like that. So the water will enter the back of the waterfall, and then what I'm going to do across here is I'm going to drill small holes, and I'll gradually go bigger with the holes depending on how much water force or pressure or drop the amount of water I want going through this distribution tube, and then that will fill up the bowl in the bottom under the waterfall and then go down the creek into the pond. So anyway, I just wanted to go over that with you guys, that I'm going to save myself a lot of money by just doing it myself, DIY. And then also I got this at Lowe's. This is a liquid color. It's a liquid color brown, but it's too light because I want everything around the waterfall and the creek and to the pond to be a dirt color, like our natural dirt, so it blends. I don't want like lined with river rock. I want to do my whole thing different than I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. I want to do it completely different. I want it to be unique and original, so hopefully this works. And then I bought charcoal from Home Depot, and I'm going to mix some of this in the concrete that I mix in the wheelbarrow, and then I'm going to pour some of this brown in. So between this brown and this charcoal, I'm hoping to get a dark brown soil that will, or concrete that will match my soil. So anyway, that's where it's at, and I'm just getting one step closer and closer to having it all done and for the final reveal. So hopefully you guys are going to watch this and like my idea. If not, comment and let me know what I did wrong or what I should do right, or different ideas of things that I can try. Anyway, we'll see you here in a little bit. Okay everybody, I am going to work on the waterfall part. It's going to be a learning curve. I'm going to learn as you guys will learn, and I went and got, should be able to see this, 8-foot by 10-foot PVC pond liner that I'm going to drape over the waterfall, the creek, and into the pond. So I think I got this from either Lowe's or Home Depot. I can't remember. But anyway, I got this to start off with. So I'm going to give it a go and we'll see how it turns out. See you in a little bit. Everybody, so what I did is I put the pond liner in and just got it kind of to see kind of how I want it laid in there and what it's going to do. The water came over the waterfall good. I had a good sheet of water making a lot of noise. This is the basin that I did with holding water, obviously for our squirrels and animals. And then it'll run off of this and then down that direction down the creek. But it did what I wanted it to do. So eventually, once I get this finished with the liner, with sand underneath it, a lot of sand actually underneath it, to soften it so I don't get any poked holes in it or whatever, then I'll mix up my concrete and my coloring, and I'll lather all of this with concrete and coloring and build it up slowly and get it to the height and completely surround it and do it this dirt color, and that should take care of that, and then it should blend and look natural. So anyway, I'll be back here in a little bit. Hey everybody, real quick, for the waterfall, creek, and pond, I laid this out in the sun, and it's more flexible and it's a lot easier. It's hot, but it's a lot easier to work with to make it do what you want it to do instead of it being like room temperature or cold. So just a little tidbit, okay? See you in a little bit. Okay everybody, I have spent all day just trying to install this pond, getting it level and getting the dirt around it. As you can see, it's quite a bit different in drop and elevation. If you can see that, the sun's pretty bright right here. Maybe if I come down here. We wanted to do tiered ground to the pond, and also because of the slope of the ground, I don't know if you can see it as it goes, I think around over there. Anyway, so now I'm going to put the pond liner down and go across all the way up to the waterfall, and then go from there and then test it. So here we go.
Looking good.
Thanks, man. I'm just right now putting the sand in to keep sharp objects from puncturing the liner, and then I'm going to do mine different than pretty much everybody else I've seen that have done ponds and creeks and waterfalls. Is I'm going to do mine with concrete, and I'm coloring the concrete. So right now I'm just trying to get the sand all sloped through here smooth, all the way to the pond, and then I'll put the liner down and then we'll give it a go. We'll put the hose on the back side of the flagstone and have it drop down and run into the pond, and then we'll see how it turns out. But my slope is looking good so far, and I think it's gonna be just fine. So as of right now, it's a good thing.
It looks really, really good.
It's taken me all day to just put the pond in. Now I'm trying to get this done, and it's almost 8 o'clock at night. So, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
Baby steps.
Yep. Yep, baby steps.
Little by little.
Yep. So I'm gonna keep going for a little while longer, and then call it a night, probably about 9. And it's working out good. So I'll let you see it when I get the water flowing.
Awesome.
Okay. This is the test. That looks like a pretty good waterfall to me. And it's gonna have the water bowl for the squirrels that they can drink out of right there. And the creek is going downhill, and it's going where it needs to go. So is that too cool or what? Pretty happy with it. Now all you have to do is add all the concrete and plants and all that good stuff, and we're golden. See ya. Okay guys, I am going to make my water distribution tube now. I've cut some pieces. I modified this piece. I didn't like how long this end was, where I'm going to have the blue barbed connector where I'm going to run my tubing to. It was just way too long for the back side of the pond, so I cut that, and I just used some tubing cutters I got at Grover's Pay and Pack, I believe. So I took and measured my distribution tube. I put 1-inch marks right here where I'm going to drill the holes to dispense the water. I've got my drill. I'm using a 3/16 drill bit. I'm going to start with that and drill the holes, and then I'm going to use this Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue. This is the best stuff ever made. You can get it at Home Depot. It's only $8. So just a heads up on that. This stuff is amazing compared to any other glue I've ever used for PVC. I don't have to use primer, nothing. I just put this on, let it dry, it's done. So with that, I am going to get after it and put the holes in this one, cut this in half, put my end caps on, and I'll show you guys after I get it all put together. I'll show you what I've done, okay? So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, I got this all glued with the pipe glue, this Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue. I also pre-drilled all my holes, so once I get this set like this in on top of the flagstone, the water is going to angle down at the flagstone, and that's going to give it the water over the flagstone. If I would have put my holes straight out, it would have just jet above the flagstone, and that wouldn't have looked good. Plus it wouldn't have worked. So what I've got left now to do is sand these on the ends where my end caps are going to be, and then I'll glue those, and then I'll let this dry, and then I'll test it out tomorrow. So all I do is take this and put this all over this, and I know I'm covering up this one hole, but it's not going to matter, and put it in the cap, this cap on, glue this one, and like I said, I've already glued the other pieces and parts. I figured I wouldn't bore you with the details of that, so got that cap, I'm gonna glue on there, and it doesn't matter if you get it all messy and gooey, because I'm going to paint it anyway, so once it dries. So there you go, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to sit up on the waterfall like that. This back barbed piece, if I can get it started, it's going to screw onto there, and then I'll hook up the tubing to this, and run the pump from the pond up to this, and that'll shoot the water out. So when I get this dialed in, I've spent probably under $20, and the distribution pond ones they sell, that it's just a prefab plastic funnel piece that comes up for waterfalls. They started, I think I saw them on the internet, $150 to $200. I'm not going to spend that kind of money, you know. It's in my backyard, it's just for me. So anyway, saved myself a lot of money, and just wanted to share this with you guys. When I get it dialed in, I'll video it, and hopefully this will work out great, and then you guys can say yay or nay. Okay, we'll see you guys soon. Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm continuing to work on the waterfall. So I have to get underneath right here where the liner is. I have the liner under the concrete, so even if the concrete cracks, it'll still make the water go down to the pond. I'm working also on getting the flagstone piece level across. I'm going to have it tip a little bit forward so it dumps the water into the catch basin. The reason why I made the catch basin is for the squirrels and birds and all that, so they have some water to drink. And then after that, I'm going to show you how I mix the concrete with the coloring and try to get it more of a brown like the dirt, and I will show you that here in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to mix the concrete. I'm going to show you how I get the coloring, how I want it. I'm more of a free spirit, so I mix it, kind of eyeball it. Right now the waterfall is a brownish tinge to match the dirt, and I'm going to shoot for that same color when I mix it in here. So I'll show you what I do. I start with the Quikcrete charcoal color from Home Depot, and I just chisel it into the concrete to get it darker, and then I'll show you the liquid brown that I got from Lowe's that I mix in with it. And this is the stuff from Lowe's. It is a buff color, and it's worked really well for what I'm trying to do. There wasn't a lot of brown in this one, so I went and got more, and I have plenty. Slowly mix in water as I go so I can get the consistency that I want, that I get it the consistency, gee whiz, that I want, and then I use it. one thing you want to keep in mind is when you mix it, you always want to mix it darker than what you want, because when it dries, it'll dry a lot lighter. Okay, that looks like the consistency I want, so I'm gonna shut it off and then we'll put it that way and I'll start pouring it down. Okay, now I'm gonna put some concrete where it goes into the creek. Okay, and that's it for now. I'm gonna continue on down the creek. See you guys in a few.
Explain what you're doing.
I'm just trying to get more of a natural look to the creek instead of just doing giant river rocks the whole entire way. Trying to keep it on lower, smaller level because our backyard is so small. I didn't want to overpower what we were trying to do. So I've tried 2 water pumps so far. I'm at the 620 gallon per hour water pump, and I still don't think that the waterfall is fast enough, so I'm thinking I'm going to go back to Harbor Freight and get the next one up, which moves serious water. And then if that still doesn't work, then I'll go back and get a 4th one, but I'm hoping that the 3rd time's a charm and that it'll be nice. So we still have bark mulch to do. We still have to get the waterfall dialed in. We have the electrical to still run because right now we have it on an extension cord just so we can test it and see how it's going. The flow is pretty good, but I'd rather have it faster. You know, Tim the Toolman Taylor, more power. So
I think
anyway,
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely
And I like the
definitely getting there.
gravel that you're slowly putting in, and then you're going to put in some bigger rocks.
Mm-hmm. So that way it is just kind of like a natural creek. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the goal anyway.
Let me go down this way to the...
Sure.
It's not pretty down there yet, but...
No, because the water hasn't settled.
Yeah, we're just testing everything out.
Yep.
Right now it's just getting mucky, and we still have to get plants and all that on it. But he's getting a good flow coming down, but he wants it faster, a little bit faster.
I think it's going to be It's gonna be good. Slowly but surely.
And then you're gonna do some bigger rocks throughout too, little
Yep.
bits.
Yep. As soon as I get this dialed in. Just a little bit at a time.
Looking good. Can't wait till we get all the plants.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another thing that he did, which was really smart, because most of this is cement, and he's colored the cement to be the same color as our dirt, but then you can't plant things in it. So over here, he put in holes, and we're going to put some soil in there and plant things.
It'll be good. It's nice to have the waterfall and the creek and the pond almost done. I can have some iced tea and enjoy it now.
So tell me what you changed just about 20 minutes ago.
So I went with the biggest pump that Harbor Freight had, which is not cheap. It was 130 bucks, but it pumps a lot of water really fast. So I hooked it up. I have a 3/4 inch water line running to the top. And if I had to change anything, I differently now, as opposed to say next time, would be to do a 1 inch big line instead of 3/4 of an inch to get more water going through from the pond up to the waterfall. But so the distribution tube I handmade or homemade, I drilled bigger holes, like 4 of them instead of 6 holes. I have smaller holes. I have 4 bigger holes now, and the drill bit is probably about a 7/16 of an inch. So there's 4 holes, and that made the water flow a lot better, as she can show you.
I'll show you right now.
I still have the little things to do along here, but you can see the water flow is really good.
Yeah, the sun's
Much better.
hitting us a little bit here,
But
but
it's much better.
yeah, the flow is so much stronger.
And that's what the biggest pump Harbor Freight has.
Say that again.
I said this tea is good. No. That's with the biggest pump that Harbor Freight had. So, but to me it was worth it because now I got a good water flow and it makes a good water sound when we're in the backyard to relax. Whether we're lounging or sitting over at our table or whatever. As Krista said, she could hear it clear over by our back door, so.
Yeah. How many pumps did you exchange?
Well, the first one I kept because I'll keep it for making another water feature. I got a second water pump and it was not enough for me as far as water flow. And then I finally bought the biggest one they had, and I'm like, if this doesn't work, then I'll have to go online and buy a big one. And this pump's like, I think it's 4,500 gallons per hour, and that's a lot of water because the pond only holds 50 gallons of
Well,
water.
you were going to go up just
So it
one
keeps it going.
up,
Yeah.
and then you said,
No, yeah.
if you're going to go,
if you're gonna go big, go big. If you're gonna do it right. So,
now we just have to figure out, because it's such a big pump with such a small pond, now we got to figure out that part.
Yep, I still have the electrical to run to our storage shed to get power instead of an extension cord. But we have to get plants placed over by the pond, plants placed over here by the waterfall. But I'm loving it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It was total teamwork. Kristen and I
don't know. I think you did most of the work.
Yeah, but placement of rocks and driftwood is everything.
Well,
If
and we're
you
not
don't
done
have
yet.
it-
We
if
still
you
have
don't have
another bag of rock.
2 bags.
2 bags.
Pea gravel and the small beach river rock. Or
Yeah.
Not beach, the river rock. Anyway,
But placement is
everything. And so that's why we do good as a team, because I got the water flowing, and then now you can come right along and put the rocks where they need to be.
Yeah.
like speed up the water, slow it down, speed it up, slow it down, so that way when it's doing the switchbacks through the Quakies, we're good. Anyway,
Yep.
there it is.
Yep. It looks so good.
I'm very happy with it.
Let me see if I can. The sun is coming right at us.
You may have to get closer to it.
Still need to do a little more work on plants and getting rocks in there. Right now they're looking a little awkward, but and then we have such a big pump that now we've got to figure out that because it stands out a little bit. But and we got to figure out the edges of the pond. But it's coming pretty good. Yeah, just detail work now. Yeah. In case you didn't hear, he said it sure is nice to sit here and listen to it. You enjoying this part of your day better than the rest of the day in the heat?
This makes it. For sure.